Good morning and welcome to Cumulus Media's Issues and Answers. I'm going to be your host today, Rachel Geddes, and we're talking about all things Bay City. And we have a host of guests that are going to be coming on with us. First and foremost, we're going to talk about a career expo and some great careers happening within Bay City by introducing Rebecca Suhr and James Blake. Now, Rebecca, give us your title there in Bay City.
Hi, Rachel. Thanks for having us this morning. I am actually the city's marketing specialist.
You're the marketing specialist, and James Blake is going to be joining us. He works in the sanitation department. Good morning to you, James.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so Rebecca, let's talk first about the Career Expo that you guys have coming up very quickly. Give us all the details.
Okay. Well, it is this Tuesday from 3 to 6 in the afternoon or evening. We're calling it the Let's Talk Team Bay City Career Expo, and it's taking place at City Hall, which is 301 Washington Avenue. Everybody knows the big historic building right here when you cross the river.
Mm-hmm.
The idea here is we have a lot of openings, and throughout the year we have a lot of openings, and we don't think a lot of people realize that there are many opportunities here, and a lot of times you'll start in our sanitation division and work your way up. So we're trying to introduce people to the faces they may see if they apply for a job here, and kind of let them know what's available, how to start, how to apply, all those things, and do it in person, since we can do those things now.
It's kind of nice to do that now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Now tell us a little bit about what careers are available.
Well, we have a number of departments here. So the city is broken up into departments, and those are broken up into divisions. So our Department of Public Works typically has the most openings. A lot of our team members, and I'm not just talking in DPW, but across the city, start in sanitation, which, you know, is somebody on the back of a trash truck or picking up yard waste or brush collection or recycling. It's a foot in the door, and then they move their way to other places like our water distribution and metering division, or perhaps our wastewater treatment plant. So there are a lot of career openings, but you have to get your foot in the door somewhere.
Right. And it seems like a lot of people are looking for jobs right now. And as you said, everything was online for so long, and typically that's how people are getting hired now. But what kind of things does it offer when you're face to face with somebody? What kind of pluses or minuses does that involve?
Well, you could potentially meet some of your new coworkers, which is a really cool thing.
Yes.
And kind of see, you know, what it's like to work here. Ask the real questions that you can't necessarily answer or ask online when you're applying for a job. There's not always like a little entry place there to say, you know, hey, what is it really like to work here? You can get those questions answered. You can meet with our human resources team, and they can tell you about our benefits.
Mm-hmm.
We have vision, dental, and health benefits for full-time employees, and we have a health savings account and a lot of things that really set us apart from other employers.
Is this the first time that you've done one of the career expos?
Yeah, we, as far as anyone can remember, in recent time, we have not done something like this because, as everyone knows, right now there are a lot of people who are looking for jobs and a lot of job openings, and people are having a hard time, you know, filling in the holes there. So we haven't really had the need necessarily to have a career expo, and this really came from a need to fill our sanitation team. So as far as we can remember, it's the first one we've done.
You just mentioned your sanitation team and meeting coworkers in person, and we've got one of them with us right here today, James Blake. And James, you're kind of a success story for the city of Bay City. Can you talk about your career path, where you started and where you are now?
I moved to Bay City about 4 years ago, and I was driving from Bay City to Dearborn for my construction job, and it's about 2 hours each way. So it was really taking its toll on me, not to mention my vehicle. And so I decided to try to find something a little bit more local. And the city was hiring, so I decided to apply, and I got hired. Now, when I got hired, I started in the sanitation department, just the lowest guy.
Yeah.
And I eventually learned the routes on the back of the truck, and I worked my way up to an automated side-loading trash truck, and learned all those routes and became very proficient at it. And then I was approached about maybe supervising the sanitation department. I applied, and I got the job.
Wow, congratulations, James. It sounds like, you really stuck in there and worked. And that's only in a matter of 3 years, you said?
Yes.
I need to keep your number around because it sounds like you know Bay City like the back of your hand. I'm sure that you know some of your neighbors and things like that. Can you talk about some of the experiences you've had on your route?
Yeah, I've gotten to meet a lot of people from the city. I connect with the residents each day. I used to have lots of compliments from people when they would be out watching me pick up trash. If something should fall out or something like that, I would get out and pick it up and just really try to perform the best customer service I could.
Wonderful. Now, I'm guessing that you're going to be at the Career Expo, so you can talk to hopefully some potential employees.
Well, I think James actually had some vacation planned.
Oh, James. Okay.
I know. But
we'll
we have
allow
a lot
it.
of other folks that have kind of similar stories. We have people who, for example, our wastewater treatment plant director, he started in sanitation a few more years ago. But we have a lot of people that have the exact same story as James. Obviously doesn't have the same position now, but a lot of people who have started there and worked their way up and found something that they can make into a career. It's not just a job, it's a career with good benefits.
Absolutely. Now, Rebecca, what should people bring with them to the Career Expo, and is there a cost?
There's no cost at all. Obviously, bring yourself. Bring your resume if you have one. We will have some paper applications on hand, but we also have a handy-dandy QR code like a lot of folks do now. And you can scan the QR code with your smartphone while you're there. Fill out your application online. I did a test one last week, and it takes less than 5 minutes. And if you have your resume, you can just simply put in the one line where you can upload your resume, like dropped it off the career fair, and you can hand it to our human resources team, and we'll take it from you there.
Wonderful. And I found your website with a quick Google search, but is there another place for information?
Yep. Obviously, our Bay City government Facebook page has a wealth of information, and there is an event link for Facebook on there for this Let's Talk Team Bay City Career Expo. And, of course, our website is baycitymi.org with information there as well.
Okay, and we will see you on Tuesday, April 19th, once again from 3 until 6 at City Hall, 301 Washington Avenue. James Blake and Rebecca Suhr, thank you so much for taking the time today, and good luck.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
The second half of our discussion today about Bay City is a new program that is launching there called the Food Scrap Collection Program. And with me, I have Sarah Archer. And Sarah, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your title and who you work for.
So I am Sarah Archer, and I'm the owner of Iris Waste Diversion Specialist. I'm the president and founder.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about Bay City's Food Scrap Collection Program. This is brand new to Bay City, and they're partnering with your company. And why don't you tell us what it's about? I know there are some people out there that probably don't know what a food scrap collection is.
Right. Well, we are, big into recycling and keeping as much material out of the landfill as possible. And so this food scrap collection program is just one other way to keep food scraps, which are really, really bad, going into the landfill. One of the reasons we're doing this is because as more and more people are becoming aware that, we waste a lot of food, but also that food in landfills creates methane gas, and methane is one of the most potent contributors to climate change and global warming. So we really want to keep those kinds of things out of the landfill, and it's so much easier to take those and, like we like to say, is, take things that come from the earth and put it back into the earth. So we do that at our worm farm. Another business that I own, we take that material and use worms to break it down and turn it into wonderful castings that then help to replenish the soil. Okay,
so you actually have worms and as part of your company. So, like, for instance, if I sign up for the food scrap collection, it's a $20 fee if you're in Bay County, if you're a Bay County resident. And then how does it work exactly? I mean, where are we putting it? Does each house get their own bucket?
Absolutely. So we're going to make it as easy as possible for the homeowner to participate in this program. As you mentioned, there is a $20 fee. It's a monthly fee. And we will provide the homeowner with a what we call the kitchen pail that will sit right inside of their home. So as they're preparing their food, they can put those scraps, those vegetable and fruit scraps, right into that little pail. It's about a gallon size. It's made for a countertop, so it's very convenient with a handy-dandy lid that stays open, and it's very convenient. And then once that gets filled, we're also going to provide you with a 5-gallon bucket that then you can empty your pail into when it's full. And we'll be providing a once-a-week service where we're calling it kind of a front porch or porch side service because we don't want our small little green bucket, to be confused at the curb with all of the city containers, and so that they don't accidentally get put into the back of a big truck. We are providing a bucket that we're going to just pick it up at your front porch or by your garage door or something like that to just make it more convenient too. Because a lot of our current customers are our family members, many of who are, up there in age, and so they've kind of been our test pilots to use these, and, they can't lift a whole lot and go very far with some of those buckets. So we're trying to make that convenient. We're also, as part of this, the $20 does have the homeowner responsible for keeping those buckets clean, but if you don't want to or don't have the space to clean out the 5-gallon buckets, then we do offer for $8 extra per month a cleaning service. So we'll just basically swap out your full bucket of food scraps and leave you behind an empty clean one. So that's an optional additional service that we can provide.
Okay, very nice. And now, are all types of food scraps accepted?
So because we are using worms to break this material down, we really are only looking for your peelings and your fresh, not fresh. If they're fresh, you should eat them, but you're kind of spoiling fruits and vegetable scraps.
Okay.
We also will accept your coffee grounds and the paper coffee filters, tea bags, those types of things. No meats or dairy, mainly because they do not break down very quickly, and so they can become quite smelly, as you might imagine, if they are breaking down quickly, just like they do in your garbage. So we just want your, those peelings and things like that.
Now, as you've been going through some of the foods that are accepted, I'm thinking in my head, okay, for our house with, my husband and I and 2 kids, just how much waste is going into the garbage on a weekly basis. Can you talk to that number? I mean, just how much food is getting thrown away when it could be used as part of the food scrap collection?
Yeah, I think that if I remember correctly, and I'm usually really good with numbers, but my brain's kind of blanking on that right now, but I do believe it's about a pound of food scraps a person per day that gets, that a typical family or a typical person throws into the trash. Mm-hmm. So a family of 4, you're looking at maybe 5 pounds a week that is getting tossed into the landfill. So, but, of course, it's a radio show, so don't quote me on that, but I don't have those numbers right here handy in front of me.
I put you on the spot. So. I didn't prep you for that question.
But it's pretty significant because about 40% of everything that goes into a landfill is organic in nature, meaning that's not just food, but like our grass clippings and leaves. And thankfully, Michigan isn't contributing to that because we have our yard waste ban. So thankfully, that we already are keeping that material out. So the next one we're aiming to help minimize is the food scraps.
Okay, wonderful. Now, this is a pilot program, and it is limited to a certain number of residents. Is that correct?
Right. So we're looking for 200 as a pilot program, just so we can test it out. So we're looking for 200 residents who are willing to work with us and take a few surveys throughout the 9 months pilot. After the 9 months, we're not planning on it stopping, but residents will have the option to opt back out or to continue on. But we have, at this point in time, are saying City of Bay City residents, but certainly if there's anyone within your listening area that's interested, we still want to hear from you because, we're hoping to expand this out beyond the city limits of Bay City. So certainly if you're in surrounding communities within Bay City area, Saginaw even, Flint, we service those areas currently for businesses. So certainly it'd be easy enough for us to, add folks that might be interested. But so please go ahead, and you won't be able to sign up on the Bay City pilot program, but you can contact us and let us know that you're interested if we are able to open it up to outside of Bay City limits.
You answered my next question because I was going to ask that as far as the reach for your company for Iris. I mean, are you working statewide across the country, or are you continually adding things on? And what do you see as a long-term goal? Do you think that the whole state could do a program like this?
Well, that's really the purpose of this pilot. We're trying to. I mean, it's very new yet in our state for food scrap collection, and this particular project, my idea with this project was to keep it very local, and to change the way that we provide the service and make it a little bit more user friendly rather than making it designed for the hauling, which is important because there's efficiencies around the big trucks coming through and doing that. But because we're a local, we're right in Saginaw County, we're a local company, we're looking to service our region and provide them with this opportunity to divert those food scraps. We service right now, again, as I mentioned, some businesses in Flint and a few of our family members that are in the Saginaw County region and friends, but we are looking to expand it out through the Bay County, Midland County, Saginaw County, and the northern part of Genesee County for sure. So, but right now we're starting with the City of Bay City because they've been such a willing partner and are very progressive in their thinking and moving and providing services to their residents to divert material from the landfill. So,
all right. Well, I think it's a wonderful program. If people want more information about what you guys do, where can they get information or to sign up as well?
Right. So for sign up, they can catch the link right off of Bay City Recycle's website, or they can go directly to our website at www.iriswds.com. That's iriswds.com. If you're not a person who gets online, you can also call us and leave a message, and we'll get back with you. And that number is 855-2GO-0.
Okay. So, thank you. We've been talking to Sarah Archer, from the Iris Waste Diversion Specialist. And thank you for taking action against climate change and helping our residents to do the same.
Yes. Well, thank you, Rachel. It was great talking with you and your listeners.